the GTR and Z Club of South Africa was invited by the good people from Meguiars to come to their Edenvale offices so that they can teach us how to properly wash our cars and do paint restoration. Interesting. Let's see what these guys have to offer. I know they've got a massive range of products as well, and I'm pretty sure that some money will be spent on our beautiful looking cars. Well, here we are, without further ado.
Interest from a Meguiars product point of view. Greg is the MD of Cars and Automotive, bringing the Meguiars products into South Africa.
Morning, Greg.
And Devin and Meguiars are two of the Johannesburg sales guys. So they're going to run through the basics of washing a car using a 2-bucket system to get away from actually putting scratches onto the car. And obviously the maintenance from there onwards as well, with compounds, polishes, waxes. We'll talk a bit about detailing the engine, detailing the interior. I think we try to keep it very informal so that you guys can ask whatever questions you want. If anything interests you specifically, we can go on to that for you. So we're not trying to formalize a way forward, but we can talk as we go. So let me start to ask questions. Cool. Perfect. Cool.
All right, you ready? Perfect. Right, guys. Step 1, wash your car. As I was saying initially, most of your swirls and scratches, or your light swirls and scratches, come from the car washer. The guys have improper washing methods. They don't use the proper equipment, the proper washing mitt, the drying towels. All of that adds the swirls on the car. And we can see a perfect example right here. Right. So initially, when we do our car wash training with the guys, you know what? You put your water in your car, add your soap. Like I said, with the car washes, the problem is you'll start in the bottom of the car where it's dirtiest, where they'll find the most mud, the most grime, the most dirt, and they'll wipe up on the car. With the same soap, the same sponge, they won't rinse it, and that will add the scratches and the swirls to the car. And generally what we see after they've even rinsed the car, when we dry the car off, generally you're supposed to have clean water coming out of your car. You take that chamois and you squeeze it into a white bucket, you still see dirty water coming from there. In a perfect world, that water is supposed to be drinkable. The car is already clean. You've got clean water on that car. That's what you need. So we have our 2-bucket system. Can I have one more bucket, please?
Just a drum.
So what we would do with the guys, you have 1 bucket of your soapy water after you've rinsed your car and you've got your foam already on the car, and you have 1 bucket with clean water with the grit guard. Right, so your grit guard, literally it says grit guard. It keeps all the dirt in the water. So why we say you keep it with clean water here is what you do. You take your microfiber wash mitt, got it in your hand, especially designed for your paint, not to add swirls and scratches, to clean your paint only. So you scoop up your soap, you wash your car. After generally what I say, each panel, in clean water, you rub it on the grit guard. All the dirt, the grime sits on the bottom, you rinse out this here, so there's no dirt following through. You grip your soap again, and you follow on to the next panel. There, you're saving your paint, you're saving your car, you're keeping your dirt on the bottom, you're not damaging anything on the car. You always, I mean, you guys, you love your cars. You don't want people to damage your paint, and this is the way moving forward. So we've got a specially designed wash mitt. It's a microfiber wash mitt. It's not going to damage your paint whatsoever. It's soft, it's meant to just clean, no abrasive policies, it's not going to add any swirls. Once that is done,
Just quickly, what actually the microfiber does as well is when you're washing the dirt, the microfiber traps that dirt into the microfiber, which is why you rinse it out all the time as well. So that actually goes into the fibers. So you get other products that are maybe cheaper. It's a good thing. That one is my own mitt. That's probably about a year old, and I use it for detailing all the time. So you can see that it lasts. It's good stuff. I brought those to you when Amelia talks about it. You can check those cloths. Those are also about a year old. They get washed in a washing machine on a 60-degree wash.
after that there, once your car is washed nicely, you rinse it off, and here comes the part like I was saying. The guys use chamois on the cars. Nothing against the chamois because back in the day that's all they had. But you notice if you leave the chamois out in the sun, it becomes hard like rock. Imagine putting that on your car. You're literally scraping it onto your car. Even if you put water on it and you soften it a bit, the leather still stays hard. That's where your smells are coming from. That's where you get that spider web look on your car. Meguiars has got the water magnet drying towel. This literally is a water magnet, like how you have magnets for metal. It'll suck up the water of the car. It's soft, it's a woven towel. It'll never add any swirls or scratches. After you've literally done the whole car and you squeeze it, you can't hardly get any water out because it absorbs everything. And this here is basically lifetime. You wash it, you keep it safe. You done Mark has his one here. It's perfect. Yeah, sure.
So if you wash it, and I mean, I heard Mark just saying that he's going to put it into the washing machine at 60 degrees. Do I put detergent into that? Doesn't that mess up the microfiber?
Don't add any fabric softeners.
Yeah.
Normal washing detergent.
Okay.
It will not mess up because it's woven together. Your normal washing detergent, it's woven together. You can see it's got a waffle look to it. It's not meant to.
If you do put softener in, you're going to find the next time you use the cloth, you're going to have little speckles on your windscreen and everything like that.
So stay away from your fabric
Yeah,
softeners
with the
and just use your normal cleaning detergents. It'll be perfectly
If
fine.
you do that, just wash it again without softener.
Just rinse it off. And that's your 2-bucket method, guys. Save your paint. And that's where, after you detail a car, it's all about maintenance. Like we tell our guys, in the perfect world, you only need to polish once. You never need to polish after that. You wax and you maintain. And we have the products to do that. As long as you maintain your paint, you're never going to damage it again. And that's your washing system.
Next step, when you start, there's basically 4 steps to follow when doing paint correction and paint protection. Your first step you'll need to do is clay. So what clay does is, even after you've washed your car and stuff like that, you've got bonded surface contaminants on your paint. That comes from industrial fallout, acid rain, bird droppings, things like that. All that settles onto your paintwork and it sticks to your paintwork. Even if you wash the car, it's not getting it off. The only thing that removes that is clay. So it's basically you cleaning your paint first before starting to correct it. It's basically like, it's like spraying on perfume without bathing if you're gonna polish over the dirt, if you understand what I'm saying. So good way of seeing your surface contaminants and your bonded contaminants. If you feel with your fingers, it will feel relatively smooth paintwork, right? Put a piece of plastic over, you feel it with that. You guys can come and try. Try the clay, guys. This is basically a clay bar. Feels a little bit like plasticine, like press stick, right? The way you use this, make it into a flat pad like this, right? Very important, do not drop it when you're working. Because if you drop it, what it's doing is it's sucking up all the dirt from the ground. And if you put that onto your paint, you're scratching instantly. So if you drop it, you've got to throw it away, unfortunately. It's quite an expensive product, so what we do is it comes in a bar form. We cut the bar into 4 pieces. So you've got four different pieces. If you drop a piece, you haven't lost your whole bar with that piece. All right. And it can be used over and over again. You drop it? No. Preferably you don't want to drop it. So it comes in a storage container. You store it in your container. You use it over and over again. Right? You'll feel after a while when it's starting to lose its effect. It'll get very tacky and soft and start falling apart. It gets brittle. Then you know it's not effective anymore. That piece you can eventually throw away. When it's not doing what it's supposed to do anymore, you move on to your next piece from your container. You basically use Meguiars Quick Detailer as a lubricant. So I'm going to demonstrate to you now how it works. You just wet the clay bar a bit. Okay, then this onto the panel. And you basically wipe, just wipe. Keep your hands flat to the clay bar.
You don't need pressure. You just literally
it's just wiping the panel off.
So straight lines, not swirls.
Yeah, straight lines.
Why is it starting to turn white?
You'll actually see the liquid turning color when the dirt is coming off. If you look carefully, you can't see it on this car. The lighter color, you'll see it.
I was just joking. Do you need to do circular movements? Or?
No, straight lines. See, I've done a little bit there. You see the little dirt coming out. Right? So that's coming off your paint surface.
That's now the rough sections you've
Yes,
under the
that's what's been bonded onto your paint. Coming off. So what you do is, as you continue, if you see the surface is getting dirty, you fold it over, you fold the dirt into it, and you expose a clean side, a clean area of the clay. So you keep, as you keep moving from panel to panel, as you see the surface is getting dirty, the surface of the clay, you keep folding it in. And that's going to dissolve.
you'll be able to do the whole car with it.
Oh yeah, no, you can do the car many times.
Just that little piece, it's a quarter of that bar.
Yeah, you use it, as I said, you use it over and over again until it starts getting tacky and you feel that it's falling apart.
And in terms of the clay,
If you feel it's getting sticky on the panel while you're doing this, you just add a little bit more lubricant on it.
And I was asking an interesting question there. Do we also start from high on the car and work down, or doesn't it really matter?
Doesn't really
doesn't matter because the car is already clean.
Okay.
Because you have already washed your car, it's clean. It doesn't matter. So generally, the guys start on one side of the car and work all the way around it.
Can I pay someone to do this?
If you watch,
I'm one of the guys that you pay to do it.
Good. I'll take your number.
Did you bring business cards? A quick detailer. You can see you're already starting to see a difference.
you can see it. It's really easy. You can really see it.
It's already a difference just from playing from here to there.
Take that plastic again and go and
Yeah, so now you. So if you feel it now, you felt before what it felt like. You feel that? It's smooth now.
You could touch there and then touch here. And you see the
Feel there
difference.
and then feel the difference.
Chris, we really thought you would bring Mandy along for this course.
Yes.
So you got your quick detailer
I seen it my
there,
car
your
last
play
time.
bar.
I don't think I'll get away with it again.
Yes, but now the swirl marks are much more visible. Prominent is a good word.
That's the difficult part is when you start working on a car, when you start doing these processes, everything gets more and more prominent. So each step, if you don't do it properly, looks worse and worse the further you get. So it's very important in that starting process of doing the decontamination, getting to the compound and getting to polishing that each step is done properly. Because all you're doing is refining that, so if the scratches are still there and you start polishing, the scratches just look worse and worse and worse. So you've got to take the time to do it, work through the whole process and get it refined properly.
You can easily burn the plate and stuff with machines like this. But with a dual action machine, what it does is, it rotates, right, and it oscillates. You see that? Offsets. So you haven't got that concentrated rotation in one area, like a grinder kind of.
More of a wobble thing. So an angle grinder is not a good idea.
So this is basically a rotary machine, right?
Good question. Good question.
So this is a rotary machine. So you see it just spins on one.
And just keep in mind that rotary machine as well is going to run at about 2,800, 3,000 RPM. Yep. The angle grinder is going to run at 12,000 RPM.
It's going to work for a while.
So if you want to remove the paint,
So guys, the safest way of doing it, I would say, is a DA machine for the DIY guy. If you're not doing it every day, if you're not properly trained on the
look, even professional use. I use a rotary. I was trained on a rotary. Okay, a rotary machine. I only use DA machines for professional use. I don't use a rotary at all. It's just something you really want to refine and do something nice and not slow, but do it properly and at the right pace. You don't want to go and speed up and chance cutting through the paint or having an edge that you burn through and you're suddenly missing paint on the edge of the panel.
Using a machine like that, I've seen videos where guys actually tape off things like the little rubber bits and whatever.
Yes.
You obviously want to avoid those.
Yeah,
bits.
you want to avoid those areas. Most guys mask it off to avoid damages to those things. But with the nice thing about the Meguiars products, they're all water-based. So there's no solvents and the stuff in it where it's going to stain the rubbers. So even if it gets onto your rubber trims and things like that, you wipe it off with a quick detailer or a slightly like multi-purpose cleaner, you wipe it off, it's not going to stain your rubbers.
Yeah, often another reason the guys will tape off as well is on your rubber you're going to pull contamination back onto the paint.
Yeah,
So they'll just tape that edge so that you're not pulling dirt back on and polishing back into the paint.
exactly. Yeah. We run at about between 3 and 4 on the dial here.
revolutions per minute approximately?
3 and 4 on this will be 5,800 to 6,400.
So you're going to go like really quickly with your arm like this.
No. If you're doing it by hand, it's not going to be.
I was just
But you're going to use it. Your overlap.
That's what Greg was saying just now. As soon as you're putting more wax on top of the
This is the final stage.
This is your protective layer.
Protective layer. What's the product you're using?
ultimately just reacting with the wax again.
And with wax. But there's quite a few products available there. You get it in a paste form as well.
Okay.
You get chemical wax. So once you've applied that,
The red one. Yeah, that's a cleaner wax. Yes.
so once you've applied that, you've got to wait for it to cure. With all waxes, you need to let it cure.
Principle.
So generally, if you start
drive
on one
around
side
with
of
that
you start on this corner of the car, you work your way all around the car. By the time you get
Use that over that or vice versa.
Personal preference.
your wax,
What do you mean?
This is great.
What do you mean personal preference? Like different in
no, ultimate wax.